The time is now. The time is now. The time is now. I'm Trent, and this is Vision Preparedness. The time is now. The time is now.
And welcome to Mayhemic Thursday. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. I hope everybody is having an amazing day. I hope everybody had an amazing day and being safe out there. Folks, Mayhemicness is going all over the place. And folks, we got something special tonight. There's this guy that's been pestering me. His name is Walter Wilderness from Action News Tabloid 7 or something crazy. I don't know. But anyway, we found him wandering around, snooping around and asking questions. And he wanted to do an interview with Mad Shad. He was talking about all this information that he's gathered about this possible kidnapping and assassination of Bonesy. I have no idea. But anyway, without further ado, folks, I'm going to bring you this guy, Walter Wilderness, and he is going to do something here very spectacular and covert. So folks, we'll see you shortly. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Walter Wilderness for Action 7 Tabloid News. I don't know where I'm at, but I have had death threats on this breaking news story. And I reached out to this guy, Vision Preparedness, that I found in my notes. And so the COO is the one who actually arranged all of this through Vision Preparedness. And basically he agreed and he came and got me and he put a hood on my face and took me to this secluded location. I think it's a bunker. I don't know. But ladies and gentlemen, you folks are amazing. And I'm glad you're following this story because we're going to get to the bottom of this. If you saw my footage the other day of this kidnapping and assassination, allegedly, of such individual by the name of Bonesy, I don't know. But anyway, during my investigations, I tracked down this gentleman by the name of Mad Shad, who agreed to give me an exclusive interview. Folks, as you see, death threats. I got on my witness protection body armor. I'm in a bunker. I have nothing to do. Only thing I do know is that the COO was kind enough to feed me and provide some coffee as well as give me some pie. So I'm doing pretty good. And without further ado, folks, my guest just arrived. So we're going to bring him up and we're going to get to the bottom of this because I have pads and papers and everything full of information. And I'm going to run this down. And I promise you folks out there that we're going to bring these people to justice in this alleged kidnapping and assassination
of Bonesy. So without further ado, folks, let me bring up our interviewee for the night, Mr. Mad Shad himself. Good evening, sir. How are you?
I am great, Mr. Wilderness. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well, and thank you for agreeing to this interview.
Thank you. Yeah.
First of all, I would like to ask you, Mr. Shad, what is your connection to Bonesy? What is your affiliation? Are you family? What is it?
Well, I'm going to tell you the blunt truth. I was his shall we say, his warden. He was in my charge as a prisoner. Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. I was. He was incarcerated. It behooved to me. It was my task to keep him incarcerated, so that the evil would not spread.
So basically, you're telling me he was a inmate in your charge.
Yes. I'd say that is an accurate description. Yes.
Okay. So folks, I need you to walk me through this footage. We're going to play some footage, folks. And by the way, if you have little children around, folks, you may want to send them out of the room due to the adult content and language. That this video is pretty loud and violent. And folks, you won't believe this, but if you haven't seen it, here's the live footage that was given to us from an anonymous source, and we'll talk more about this. So let's take a look at this and listen carefully.
Hey, Bonesy. Hey, how y'all's doing? Hey, yeah, just stand right there. Okay, I'm just gonna stand right here. Yeah, so we're gonna take a picture of you. Okay, it sounds good. Yeah. You gotta take a picture of me. Yeah, we're gonna put it on your OnlyFans page. Okay, that's great. Great. All right, stand by. Wait for the flash. Okay. All right, Bonesy, smile for the camera. Okay. Right in hell, motherfucker. Ow! Ow! Oh God! Oh God! That's Moss. Why would you do a thing like that? Oh God! Oh!
Have it. Right in the sun. Goodbye.
Ready? Yep. Fire, you fucker.
So there it is, folks. And so, what was your reaction when you saw this footage?
I'd have to say that it was extremely shocking. I was in interrogation with the authorities for 21 hours. I must have seen that footage maybe 5 or 6 times. So yeah, it never gets easier every time I see it.
So who did this? Do you have any? Was there a ransom?
My lawyers have instructed me not to answer that question.
Okay. So Bonesy. So I'm trying to connect the dots here. Bonesy was your ward, and how? Where were you when he disappeared? How did he disappear?
Well, I have a pretty good alibi. I was at work.
Okay.
So I was, yes, I was. Now, Charity was the only one that was here. Charity would have to be the eyewitness, the star witness, but she's not talking. She's not saying anything. She was here when they took Bonesy. That's confirmed. I was not. She was here. But yeah, she has not been questioned. She has not spoken about it. It's probably because she's a dog. But
not even to you?
Not even to me. No, unfortunately.
So Did Bonesy have any enemies?
Yes, he did. He had a lot of enemies throughout history. Throughout history, Noah was one of them. He, Noah in the ark.
Yeah.
They played a dice game together, and he owed Noah 3,000 shekels, I believe it was. And so Noah and his followers and ancestors have been trying to collect that for quite some time.
So he owed Noah shekels.
Yes, in a dice game.
In a dice game. So today, shekels, if I'm not mistaken, shekels were made out of gold.
Wow.
And,
So yeah, I
and
mean, yeah.
that would be
Bonesy
a handsome sum of gold that Bonesy owed Noah.
Yeah, and that's just Noah. There's so many others. Napoleon. There's you name it. Bonesy was for at least a year. He was just kind of going back and forth. He was free to roam and spread hate and discontent and evil throughout his whole immortal lifetime. Yes, he's immortal. So this assassination attempt has me very wary. Uh, is it really true? Because he's been assassinated quite a few other times too. If you check out Coyote Animations, he breaks down the origin story and some of the history going all the way back to the British in their occupation of China, of America, going so on and so forth. So the story of Bonesy is vast and broad and spans many timelines.
So basically, you're telling me that we're dealing with the death of the spawn of Satan himself.
It's kind of a mystery, but what Bonesy's ultimate goal has always been throughout his course of his immortal life is to open the gates of hell and to release his bonehead army upon the world. But to do that, he has to steal all the bacon to feed all the bonehead demons. So that's he said that many times in the past. He's been quoted many times doing that. He has a incantation that he says. Yes, it does. It's also in Willow. I think that's the same incantation. You remember Willow, but yeah, that one. And he tries to say that, and we have to stop him before he continues his demonic incantation, or he opens the portal. So luckily, he is just a skeleton. So he has no muscles. He has no fine motor skills, no strength. Yet he is extremely dangerous. He's tried to murder me a few times. He almost succeeded one time with a food poisoning.
So digging in my investigative skills, I found I'm doing air quotes here, folks, for those just listening worldwide on the news and ham radios. I'm doing air quotes. I found a alleged relative of Bonesy down in the bayou. And I don't know if you've seen this, but you're going to see it here, folks, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to play this. Apparently, Bonesy has a cousin in the bayou, and we're going to see what he has to say.
Crazy Bonesy here. Just found out what happened to my cousin Bonesy. I'm calling up the whole Cajun Navy to come find out what happened to my cousin Bonesy. Got all our Louisiana yard dogs ready to go, packed up in our boats. Don't know how to get there in Ohio from boat, but the Cajun Navy always persists. We always get to where we got to go. First, we got to investigate the crime scene. Then we're going to look at all the suspects. Mad Shad, Vision Preparedness. We're coming for y'all. Ghost Lincoln, Hudson Valley. We will be paying more attention to y'all. We will be looking deep into y'all backgrounds. We don't believe Sister Mary had anything to do with it. So she's cleared of any kind of charges. I hope you ain't had nothing to do with it, all American Prepper. I'm calling in all my voodoo spirit friends to come avenge Bonesy. Justice for Bonesy. All hail and long live Bonesy. He will be back.
So,
Well,
who do you know this individual? This Mr. KP Heathen. Do you know him?
yes, I do. Yes, I do.
And what have you two talked about this thing between Bonesy and Cajun Bonesy?
No, we have not. It appears that KP Heathen has distanced himself from me because his lawyers have told him to do so as well. So that's all I can say about that at this time. I can say that, and it has been confirmed that Bonesy escaped one day and went to Louisiana, and him and KP Heathen were found to hang out making tacos. So the relationship with Bonesy and KP Heathen is probably the most interesting one that I would have to say besides mine.
Okay, folks, ladies and gentlemen, for you that just came in, this is Walter Wilderness from Action 7 Tabloid News. We're getting to the bottom of the alleged kidnapping and assassination of one called Bonesy, and we're interviewing here with Mr. Mad Shad, who apparently was Bonesy's ward, and we heard from Bonesy's alleged cousin, KP Heathen's friend. I don't know their connection, but it was Cajun Bonesy who was calling up the demons and the voodoo people of the dark, and apparently they're coming to Ohio.
With the Cajun Navy as well.
The Cajun Navy.
Yeah,
yes.
the Cajun Navy, and of course they're bringing their big mojo voodoo thing. They do. Yeah. I don't know. Santeria, maybe. I don't know. It is. I know that they're going to come and investigate me and interrogate me. And if you know anything how a Louisiana interrogation goes, hot sauce is involved, and possibly some gators. So I hope that I can survive the interrogation. But I will consult with my my legal counsel before I talk to them.
Absolutely. And now I'm connecting the dots. Walter Wilderness here, folks, your crack ace reporter. Now I understand why Vision Preparedness was on the utmost high alert. The guys that he had with him were they were armed to the T. And they whisked me away in this black vehicle with a hood on my head. And here I am, but he allowed me to get this message out to you, the people of the world, to help investigate this kidnapping and assassination of Bonesy. So what have they said to you?
Oh, wow. Like I said, I was in interrogation for about 21 hours.
Yeah.
It was grueling, constant interrogation. They didn't allow me to sleep. I did sweet talk them out of some pie. So they did give me pie. It was pecan pie, and it
Yes.
was about 2 days old, but it was still pie, and I thanked him for that. But yes, they had, like I said, there's a lot of history with Bonesy. So we're talking cartels. We're talking the H man with the funny mustache, going all the way back to that. The IRS is involved. Apparently, Bonesy owes like 10,000 years of back taxes,
Oh my
and
God.
they wish to collect. Yeah, and Bonesy has a lot of relatives as well, like Cajun Bonesy.
Yeah.
Wolfgang has bone meal, and so there's Bonehead. There's some other ones. There's one in Scotland with John H. And so they it seems to be like a network of secret society, dangerous, evil kind of thing. So it's very so you can Mr. Wilderness, Walter Wilderness,
Yes.
you are a lot safer, in a better, safer position than I am. I still have to be out in public and work, and so you can imagine the danger that I'm in. You know,
Yes.
I've got the Cajun Navy breathing down my neck. I've got the undead Bonesy cartel after me, hiding and stuff. But that's okay. They're all little skeletons, so I can just push them over. But
And
they
so
could be dangerous.
yeah, and so all of these invaders invading the Texas border, and if I'm not mistaken, Grandpa Ice Cream even flew some of them over here to this wonderful country. Do
Right.
do you worry about the fact that half of these invaders could be Bonesy's hounds from hell that are coming to hunt down? I heard Cajun Bonesy mention yourself and Vision Preparedness and some guy called Ghost Lincoln. I mean, it sounds like a Ghostbusters come true movie.
Right. If they ever make the movie of this, it's going to be something amazing. I just hope they get somebody a lot better looking than me to play me. So I haven't heard of these names. I've been instructed by my lawyer not to answer.
Okay. Folks, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that just tuned in, turned on, or turned over, this is Walter Wilderness for Action 7 Tabloid News. We're interviewing Mr. Mad Shad about an incident that happened about 4 or 5 days ago in the abduction and assassination of one Mr. Bonesy. And I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. And my whole life is in danger. I am secluded. I'm protected. Thanks to the COO who also gave me pie. And
Hi.
Vision Preparedness, and they swooped me up like a witness protection person. And I am under 24-hour watch. Unfortunately, I'm in a 6x6 space, so but I'm safe. But he allowed me to connect to the internet to get this news out to everybody. This is breaking news, folks. You won't see this or hear of this anywhere else except right here on Action 7 Tabloid News. Mr. Mad Shad, so you
Yes, sir.
talked about, do you fear for your life?
Yes, I do. Yes. Yeah.
And so has the authorities offered any type of protection, witness protection program, anything?
No. And I think it's quite possible that they are part of the Legion of Bonesy, because on one of the investigators, he had a skull tattoo on his wrist, and he kind of showed it to me, and I really fear for my life. This secret Bonesy society, it goes deep, and it involves a lot of people and a lot of in different areas. So I do fear for my life. Every time I see somebody with a skull tattoo, I get a little nervous.
Yeah, and are you the type of man that would defend himself at any cost?
No, not at all. No, I'm a very peaceful person. I do not engage in violence whatsoever. I'm totally against all that.
And the authorities will not offer you any type of protection. So do they consider you a suspect in the abduction and assassination of Bonesy, even though you have an alibi?
My lawyer has instructed me not to answer that question.
Okay. And what about Charity? Would she know more? She actually saw it firsthand. She is the only eyewitness to the abduction.
Right.
And I don't know where in the woods this assassination took place, other than we had an anonymous tipster that gave us some coordinates, and that's how we found it.
Are you willing to tell us who your source is, sir?
Absolutely not. All good journalists do not release their sources. That is a constitutional
Right.
coverage.
I understand. I apologize. I'll give you pie.
We'll talk off camera.
Okay, great. Okay, good.
So, what about Charity? Is she under any type of protection?
No. She seems to be just ambiguous to the whole thing. She doesn't care either way, nor is she really in danger, nor has she ever been interrogated, questioned. So that's the anomaly for me, that she was never interrogated, questioned. Of course, she doesn't fear for her life. She just likes treats. So if you have food or you smell like food, chances are she's your friend.
Is it possible? Is it possible that Charity saw something so horrific that she is suffering from PTSD?
I can neither confirm nor deny, because a dog psychologist.
Mm-hmm.
Nor does she have the ability to speak English. But I would absolutely, totally agree that she knew and seen and was present thereof during the incident, during the abduction, when Bonesy was taken. So she would have known all and seen all. So why is she not in the investigation? I do not know. That's a good question.
I don't know, folks, but this is Walter Wilderness, and I will tell you this: we will get to the bottom of this. This is, the rabbit hole is deep. Do you? So some of the people that Caging Bones indicted or allegedly called out, such as Ghost Lincoln. Do you know such a person?
My lawyer has instructed me not to answer that question.
Okay, fair enough. And what about such vision preparedness? He seems like a nice guy. Do you know him?
Once again, my lawyer has instructed me not to answer that question.
Okay, folks. So down the rabbit hole we go. So my sources have told me that somewhere else in another state, the south part of the state, Bonesy has another relative.
Yes, bone meal.
Bone meal. So I haven't been able to contact such person, but how is bone meal related to Bonesy? Allegedly.
Apparently they're cousins. I didn't know this until I seen the video actually of Bone Meal, watching the same video that you showed earlier, and Bone Meal seemed to be very distraught over it.
Do you know of any other living or dead relatives of such alleged victim Bonesy?
I do, but you can't say their names without bringing them up from the gates of hell.
Oh,
That makes sense.
no, yeah,
So,
that makes plenty sense. Do not mention them, please.
right.
Um,
Right. So I can't speak their names, but yes, the answer is yes.
huh. So have authorities said to you about any leads or possible abduction and apprehension of such people involved in the assassination of Bonesy and kidnapping?
That's a very broad question there, Mr. Wilderness.
Okay, let me narrow that down.
Please.
Has the police informed you that they caught anybody?
No, they have not.
No, they have not informed you, or no, they have not caught anybody.
Yes.
Okay. 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 Folks, you heard it here from Walter Wilderness for Action News Tabloid 7. But I just this rabbit hole just gets deeper.
Right. Yeah, it is totally made my life a lot harder. A little bit easier. I don't have to look over my shoulder for Bonesy trying to kill me, but I'm not safe when I go to the grocery store. I guess it's a trade-off.
So Bonesy actually lived with you.
Yes, right here. He used to stay right here,
You mean
hanging
right
on.
there in the room next to yours,
Yeah,
or
right. Yeah, right here. He lived right here on this wall. That's where I had him hanging most of the time. That's where he spent his time. His incarceration was usually there or in a box. If he was bad, I would fold him up and put him in solitary confinement, so to speak. A box.
I just saw this, Mister a resilient dad with a wrench. I thank you very much for your donation. He says, tapping in from the Bay with much respect, Mr. World War I. Well, actually, I am Walter Wilderness for Action 7 Tabloid News, and I'm interviewing Mr. Mad Chad, and I want to thank you. I think for the donations go to Vision Preparedness, because this is his medium and source for getting out to the interwebs. And with that, I want to thank you. I'll make sure that Mr. Vision Preparedness notices that you made a donation to his network of things that he does here for all of you kind people that actually tuned in to watch us this evening. So I thank you for that. A resilient dad with a wrench. And I wish the best to you and your family. Now, back to our interview. So I'm trying to get this straight, Mr. Shad.
Yes, sir.
Bonesy's gone, and we saw his assassination live on video tape. We don't know if he's dead, technically.
So
have you gotten a copy of the coroner's report, or have you seen the coroner's report?
well, since he was undead, killing the undead does not require a coroner's report, nor do they, because when you're dealing with an immortal soul, it's hard to make a death certificate from someone that's immortal. But clearly, from the video, he seems to be completely dismantled. Like I said before, he is immortal. So there's that conflict of interest I could see from a coroner's standpoint going, wait a second, how can I give a death certificate to someone who is immortal, even though they've lost, well, everything, structure.
So have you been contacted by a mortician, or even better yet, maybe he had connection to the Undertaker?
That is a possibility. I could see that, especially if it's the WWE Undertaker. Those guys are no one to mess with. So it's a possibility that they could have performed some type of services and entomb the body, or started to regenerate the body. I don't know what these morticians do, these undertakers do. I thought they just
Okay,
buried
so
people, but
I heard you say that Bonesy had some connections to the cartel.
yes, that is correct. Apparently, Bonesy's bone marrow, had it created fentanyl.
Folks,
So
you heard it here first. Walter Wilderness reporting live for Action 7 Tabloid News. Fentanyl.
yeah, he naturally made it out of his bone marrow. So it's kind of hard to touch him. It's kind of a defense mechanism. But the cartel from time to time would I'd have to guard against the cartel coming in and trying to harvest the fentanyl. And also the Xi Jinpings, the you know Asian the Asian gangs in cartels would try as well, because well, they make the fentanyl. They can't have a second source out there, so Bonesy is a prime target for them. So Mr.
Folks,
Ping Pong.
I'm taking massive notes on to run down and contact and see if it's possible that I could get involved in. You said the Chinese, was it the Chinese mafia or the Chinese cartel or the
Yes,
PG ping
yes,
pong?
and the PLOA, the People's Liberation Army.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, let's
So
go, Steve. Let's go, Steve.
so what are you going to do? Will your life ever be normal again?
I don't think it will, sir. I really don't. Charity seems to be just fine. She's over there napping. Every now and then I hear her laugh and chuckle. Me, I am looking over my shoulder constantly. I cannot afford security. I don't even own a gun, so I'm a peaceful person. I meditate. I I dance and frolic in the wilderness and do hippie things.
You have got to be kidding me. This is
Yes, sir.
2024, folks. 2024, and this man is nonviolent.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, yes. I preach. My mantra is I preach patience, tolerance, and humility, mercy, compassion, and understanding. And if that doesn't work, you kick your ass. Yes. So
So what about this person that Cajun Bonesy talked about, vision preparedness? Do you know anything about him?
I do know Vision. Yes. We all know Vision. It's everybody knows Vision. He's a great guy. Obviously, he's providing a massive. He's saving your life right now.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
the COO gave me a cup of coffee, and right before I came on the air, she gave me some pie.
Yeah. Apparently, she likes you, so you'll be in good hands. You'll definitely be in good hands. Me, I've been thrown to the wolves.
I will say this: when I was breaking this story and reporting, folks, I heard a bark that came from the depths of hell themselves. The hounds of hell, it sounded like. And I saw not such creature, but I heard. And that's when we ended our newscast, and my cameraman wouldn't even get out of the car. So I had to investigate, talk, and film at the same time until I heard this bark.
So stunning and brave. So stunning and brave.
I just don't understand it. And the more I find out, the more I dig. I haven't slept in 4 days.
Wow. Yeah,
And
I can imagine. I can imagine.
Allegedly, the only thing I've had to eat was pie.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah.
And
you should have some more pie and coffee.
Yeah, and coffee. But being in a 6x6 hole, you get no smells other than the smell of concrete, and of course coffee
and pie.
And pie, yes.
What kind of pie is it?
I had Dutch apple pie.
Yeah, that's definitely a survival food. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think yeah. Hang on to the calories.
But I'm vowed and pledged, folks, to get to the bottom of this kidnapping and assassination of Bonesy, even if I myself have to deploy knife hands to protect those that need to be protected and brought to justice of the debauchery of Bonesy. Do you, Mr. Shad, do you think that Bonesy deserved it?
You know what? I'd have to say that my lawyer has instructed me not to answer that question, but I'm going to answer it anyway. So
Okay.
I'm going to, yes, he definitely deserved it. He definitely deserved it.
And when we watched the dismemberment of his bones, and he was still talking, and there was a fellow that point blank period delivered one more precision, precise, deadly blow that just decimated Mr. Bonesy.
Yeah, that was pretty shocking.
If you would have seen all of the, what is the word they use in that community? The spent casings. I mean, you saw in the footage that, you know, the crime labs and the crime scene and
right. Yeah. I mean, I've seen it first. I mean, I seen it in the video. Yeah, I seen it in the video.
The number of dispensed casings that were there.
Right. Yeah.
And I asked Mr. Vision Preparedness before he swooped me away if we could go past the crime scene again. And as we were driving to it, we saw 9 black unmarked SUVs parked up and down the road. So we didn't stop.
Probably wise. Probably very wise.
I don't know what in the blue blazes is going on, but apparently this Mr. Bonesy has maybe either small people in high places or high people in low places.
Or small places.
Or small. But I still don't understand how you were the one that was wielded into his charge.
Right. I was chosen. It was very simple, actually. I went to Menards on a Halloween, and I bought this skeleton for $5.99. And when the cashier gave me the receipt, it spelled it all out. You hereby are the ward in charge of containing the most evil, vile thing in the world, in the universe. And congratulations. Yes.
Amazing. And you know, I was given a little bit of information about this particular platform in which we're communicating with, and the people I think that are in blue and have wrenches. I don't know if y'all are mechanics or keeper of the gates,
Yeah,
but if you could, I understand that Mr. Mad Shad has a medium in which he puts things out, because, you know, I know a lot of people in small places and dark holes. So if you could drop a link to his so-called social media so that people can go see. And if I'm not mistaken, and if I may ask, how did you get a hold of the assassination footage of Bonesy himself?
My lawyer has instructed me not to answer that question.
Okay.
And the first time I did see it, I will say, and I can say that the first time I did see it was during the 21-hour interrogation. Like I said, I watched it like 5 or 6 times, and so, but apparently there was the original copy is out there somewhere. There's multiple copies, and they've been given out to multiple people apparently, and so. But the details of how I have my own personal footage on my personal phone at that time and all that thing. That is my lawyer has instructed me not to answer those questions.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask how you acquired it, and that's okay. So, in your honest opinion, I know you fear for your life and you don't want to
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
expose any names or be the one that happens to end up missing as well. What do you think you'll reach out to this Ghost Lincoln character or to Vision Preparedness or he named a lady, Sister Marie. I don't know if she's a nun or what she does, but
she's a nun. She's absolutely a nun. Yeah, she's a nun that has ham.
Have you sought counseling?
For me?
Yes.
No, I've been working, and so apparently the only counseling that I can receive is from the Bonesy Trauma Foundation, and it's they're a consortium of various psychologists and hypnotists, which they all have the skeleton tattoo somewhere, meaning that they are part of the Bonesy syndicate.
And of course you don't trust them.
I don't trust. I can't trust anyone. I can't trust anyone. They come at me with a smile and dead eyes, just like Bonesy. He had no eyes, just dead eyes. And they always come with me like that. And they always flash the skull tattoo and kind of smile. And that tells me everything, that I'm not to trust them. And we're talking, like you said, big people in high places and high people in big places. So in small places as well, you can't. I just can't trust anyone, and so I am reserved to going to work, going straight home, and if I can make it to Charity, I know that I'll be safe because she is a super athlete. She had a lot to do with the containment of Bonesy, and the security of Bonesy. There was constant groups trying to break in to free him or to do worse things. Like there's one individual that wanted to smoke something through his rib cage. And so I had to. There was other people that wanted to do other weird, unspeakable things to him. And so I had to guard against that, and Charity would provide that security for Bonesy. So she really helped me out with that, and she still does to this day because we still have people that come a calling, and we never we never know who's knocking at the door.
Exactly, folks. This is Walter Wilderness reporting for Action 7 Tabloid News. We're interviewing Mr. Mad Shad in the alleged kidnapping and assassination of Bonesy. I myself am in protective custody in the care and help of Mr. Vision Preparedness and the CEO of this have they taken you? Have the authorities allowed you to see the crime scene?
No, they have not. No.
I hear that they're taking footprint casts. There were probably somewhere between 8 and 9 different footprints that the authorities say they have in their possession. And that may have been what the black SUVs were doing out there the other day. And they've got, they were tight-lipped, but my inside sources tell me that they are meticulously going through spent casings, fingerprints, footprints, and they are still combing for DNA at the crime scene. They found this green glowing substance. I don't know if it was Bonesy's blood or what, but they said they found this green substance.
That would be Bonesy's blood, yes.
Bonesy's blood, where he apparently was unalived again.
Yes.
So they're doing their due diligence, and my inside sources tell me that to just wait, and they will get me the information. But you know, it's always within the first 48 hours that goes by whether or not you solve the crime. So your man Walter Wilderness for Action 7 Tabloid News is on the case, and I just don't know. I may have to go to the bayou. I just don't know. Because this Cajun Bonesy interests me, but yet I don't want to go nowhere near him.
Yes, sir. When dealing with the Cajun army and the big mojo magic,
Yes.
which Bonesy obviously has a lot to do with the voodoo and the Santeria and all that stuff, you know. So it makes sense that he would have some Cajun witch doctor, you know, hot on my heels. You know, I don't know. Maybe he's gonna, you know, sprinkle some dust and make my head shrink or something. I don't know. You've heard stories of that. You know, they take shrunken heads and things of that nature. So
Yes.
their interrogation techniques are pretty severe.
I may have to contact and dig down and see if I can locate this Sister Marie, and maybe she would be willing to go with me to the bayou, being a nun, a woman of faith, and to help ward off such voodoo and
Right.
undead navy and whatever it was.
Right. Her special weapon against all that mystical stuff is ham. Right. So she'll have her ham charms with her to ward off those evil doers, evil spirits, or whatever they can do. And also, of course, the word of God and praying and stuff like that, you know,
Yes.
is actually the best. So I remember with Bonesy, I would introduce a lot of different symbolism from around the world to try to kind of like contain him.
Yes.
And I always found that the cross really affected him, and I could kind of trap him with a couple crosses.
Nice. So how long had Bonesy been in your charge before his alleged disappearance?
Probably about a year. I'd have to say maybe a year and a half. I'm not certain.
And do you know
I have to look at the receipt.
who was his prior handler per se?
From what I understand, Menards. It's a popular chain of supermarket store type store here in Ohio. It's a great place, Menards, and I'm not totally plugging them right now, but they do have some great sales on chickens and produce, and obviously on you know, Halloween they have very cheap you know, decorations, and that's how I got Bonesy. I think he was like, I want to say $10.99. I think he cost $10.99.
Okay.
And
when did such alleged kidnapped and assassinated Bonesy first speak to you, and what was that conversation like?
Well, he has a very shocking voice, and so as soon as I picked him up, he just looked at me and said da 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 da, and I was taken aback, and so that's when it began. And he's a constant talker. He will talk and talk and talk, and he will whisper in my ear while I'm sleeping, and you know, talk to me while I'm in the shower, and while I'm taking a number 2. And so I have to guard against that, because that's his only real weapon is his mouth. So So, and you've seen his teeth; he can bite a little bit. Right.
So does he have weapons or anything of that he carried?
No, he has no pockets. He has no clothes. He's just a skeleton. It's really hard to hide anything on him. And it's really hard for him to lift his arm. Like, he can lift it a little bit, and he'll drop it.
I don't mean to put you on the spot, Mr. Shad, but
Yes,
I am a journalist. and
Yes, sir.
I am charged with asking the hard questions. And one of my informants said that you have awesome pockets. Can you explain that?
Right. So the acronym is TAP. TAP. It refers to totally awesome pockets. Yes.
Totally awesome pockets.
Yes, sir. Basically it's a tactical assault panel is what TAP means, but totally awesome pockets really stands out. It's it's a thing. It's a thing.
So I heard you say tactical, but how can a gentleman that has no weapons, non-violent, have totally awesome pockets?
Because any kind of weapon or any kind of thing that that's used for war, I will take it and make it hippie and make it peace, love, and hair grease. And so I took tactical assault panel and I turned it into totally awesome pocket. Yeah. So it works, and I have to give a shout out to a certain someone who coined that phrase, which I cannot disclose his name because my lawyer has instructed me not to answer that question.
Okay, okay. So, folks, this is Walter Wilderness for Action 7 Tabloid News, and I'm interviewing Mr. Mad Shad on the alleged kidnapping and violent assassination of one known as Bonesy. Alleged assassination of Bonesy. Where? I guess after the coroner, the mortician, the undertaker does forensics, are they sending you what's left of Bonesy?
I do not know at this time. I would like to have the remains back just so that I could secure them, just in case there's a chance that perhaps it reanimates. It is a possibility. Think like
wait a minute. So you're telling me that Bonesy could come back to life?
He's like I said, he's immortal, and this kind of thing has happened to him in his past many times over. He has been shot, beaten, stabbed, blown up, drowned, eaten, every possible death that you could possibly imagine. Bonesy has faced it maybe 1,000, maybe 10,000 times.
So are you telling me, because I remember earlier on in our interview, you talked about he was trying to hoard or harvest all the bacon of the world.
Yes, sir.
Is that the direct correlation to the price of bacon soaring?
It's a strong possibility. It is not. It is. Maybe. It's a very strong possibility. Maybe that's the case. My sources say it's a possibility.
Okay. So with that, now the market should be flooded with bacon and the price should start coming down.
Yes, sir.
That'll make a lot of people happy. But what if Mr. Bonesy regenerates? What does that mean for you, Mr. Shad?
Well, once again, I was given charge. I was basically, hey, it's your turn now, by the divine powers, whoever they may be, But when I took this receipt, it glowed and it with a loud booming voice, it told me what I needed to do, exactly what I needed to do. So that's what I've been doing. So what it would mean to me would be basically the same thing that I've been doing, and that's trying to isolate, contain the evil, because it can never be destroyed.
Yes. And with that, folks, this is Walter Wilderness for Action 7 Tabloid News. Mr. Mad Shad, I have been informed that my internet time is up, and there is a blackout at 0905.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I want to thank you for allowing me this in-person interview.
Yes, sir.
Would you once again like to either plead your innocence or admit that you were behind this plot? I don't know. I'm just a investigative reporter trying to get to the bottom of it.
I can't. No, I do not. I do not agree. No, I cannot. With a clear conscience, say I had any part in this. I can't. No, I had nothing to do with it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. And Charity, will you get her security or take her with you, or is she okay? Maybe she needs to see this Bones psychologist.
Apparently, Bonesy and Charity. Well, Bonesy was scared of Charity, so yes, she, because he's a bone. She would just gnaw on him, and so if he got out of line or he tried to escape, she would capture him and spend hours gnawing on his head or his arm or something of that nature. Of course, he would be in extreme pain and everything, and she would just continue. And then I would find her, wagging her tail when I came home, and Bonesy with a new gnaw mark on his arm. And of course, like I said, she provided a majority of the security in this institution of containing Bonesy containment area, if you will.
And with that, would you like to say any parting words to the world about this tragic, horrific, alleged kidnapping and assassination of Bonesy?
I just have to say that keep an open mind, and leave half of what you see and nothing of what you hear.
And with that, folks, this is Walter Wilderness from Action 7 News Tabloids Worldwide. I want to thank you for joining us tonight and allowing me to have this live interview with probably the only sane person that the alleged victim knows. And I want to thank you, Mr. Matt Shad. If you'll just stick around for a moment after the broadcast,
Yes,
I want to ask a few more questions off camera. But ladies and gentlemen, I've been instructed by the COO, yes, please, coffee, and maybe if you have any of that pie left. Thank you. I've been instructed by the COO to, if you would, hit something with a thumbs up button and
yes.
or whatever.
It looks like this. You got to hit that button, and there's another button next to it. I think it says shared, and you have to hit that too. And then it says copy link, and then you post it. You have to do all those things, and of course, it helps to comment in chat and also to comment in the comment section afterwards. It helps with the algorithms, if you will.
You seem to be a very highly educated man, Mr. Shad, and I want to thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Wilderness. Thank you.
This is Walter Wilderness for Action 7 Tabloid News. Thank you for joining us tonight. I am going to stay on this case. We're going to get to the bottom of this, and we're going to find justice for either Mr. Shad or for Bonesy. I haven't determined if Bonesy needs to stay in the pit of hell or if his assassins need to be brought to justice. But either way, you will hear it first from Mr. Walter Wilderness for Action 7 Tabloid News. Everybody have an amazing evening. Stay safe and don't take any wooden nickels. Thank you and good night.